punches or the heavier punches. Gerber's doing that. But Harris is doing the smart boxing, the clever boxing.
Gut so, machst du gut so. Der war wieder noch eine bessere Runde. Kommst immer besser rein. Ruhig zum Schluss den langen linken Haken, merkst du das?
You're watching on Freeview at the moment on Box Nation. If you want to watch the main events later on, the big fights from Germany, and also, of course, the fight of the year so far, Floyd Mayweather against Miguel Cotto, go to boxnation.com. Don't leave it to the last moment, for goodness sake. Get yourself on and get registered and make sure that you see the main event later on. So how did you score that second round, Spencer?
The second round, I'd have to get it to Gerber, only for the simple fact that he's landing the telling blows. The better, more decisive boxing is actually coming from Harris. But Gerber's looking pretty good. I had a massive argument with a friend of mine, Ben Miller, who was telling me how good Gerber was. And I said, well, he could get outskilled there, but so far it looks like Gerber's in control.
Well, we'll see. It's an 8-rounder, remember, this made at heavyweight. The taller, heavier American Maurice Harris, Edmund Gerber from Germany.
See, there you go, he just got caught with a counter jab and acknowledges that, okay, good shot. And when you're beating with a guy that they've obviously got over Harris many times to spar with Gerber, you can get fooled into thinking like this is a sparring contest, but I'm getting paid for it. Well, properly paid for it. They get paid to spar anyway.
He almost reaches back into another era, doesn't he, Harris? Early on in his career, he lost against Vaughn Bean and against an aging Larry Holmes.
Yeah, but Larry Holmes still had skills. You know, Larry. Larry could fight right now. I'm looking at some of the heavyweights right. Larry could come right now and beat a couple guys. I'm telling you.
I know you like to rank your fighters, don't you, that you've watched over the years. I tell you what, if you're looking at great left jabs, there's not been too many better than Larry's. No,
if you look in the heavyweight division, who could match Larry Holmes' jab? Joe Lewis. Larry Holmes had a better jab than Muhammad Ali, and that's the God's honest truth. It was a flicking punch, but it was also a hurtful punch at the same time. Incredible jab. But you got to give due to Lennox Lewis, man. Come on, man. Lennox had a beautiful jab too.
Absolutely.
Sonny Liston, he could go on and on and on.
Another time, maybe.
Yeah, most definitely. Look, yeah, well, I'm just talking about Sonny Liston there, and then Harris has popped out a pretty mean-looking jab. There was a lot of spite in it, but then he's gone back to, you know, maybe he's in his mindset. He still thinks it's a sparring partner.
Well, he has sparred him in the past, and you talk about that sparring partner mentality. You know, you've been a pro fighter, Spencer. Just tell us exactly what your take is on that. You know, you say people watching will say they're watching Harris here and seeing all the talent, but has he really got the desire to win? Sparring partner mentality. How do you see that?
Yeah, well, he could have. That's very good. He could have sparring partner mentality because, you know, he's got some. You can look at him. He's got a lot of talent there. He's got a lot of talent there, but does he look interested? You have to look at the guy's his body shape. Does that look like a professional athlete? He does look a little bit like one, but I remember seeing him in the early days, and he was ripped. He was a ripped kind of guy, and he's very ambitious. Here, look at that, never right hand. He's just happy to be there. He's lacking a little bit of ambition from him. And to tell you the honest truth, Gerber should really be pressuring him here.
That right hand of Edmund Gerber landed pretty flush, and that's a nice left hand from Harris. But
it's a good combination, but he's not doing enough of it.
Harris's mouth as well, just starting to ooze a little bit of blood as he makes his way back to the corner. Again, I thought the more telling blows came from the German.
Most definitely. John, if I hit you with those right hands, you'd be oozing blood too.
Hopefully that's not going to happen, at least not in the immediate future.
Now we're sat inches apart from each other, but no.
You see the damage, and I think it was that right hand settling now nicely into his work.
Genauso weiter. Lassen ihn und Nico Spielereien einlassen. Ja, du musst deine Linie konsequent durchziehen. Immer wieder nach und beweglich sein. Ne? Und versuchen als Erster drinnen zu sein. Ne? Tief, so, machst du gut, konzentrier dich hier.
He stopped Marcel Zeller in his 8th contest just after Zeller had been beaten by Tyson Fury. Remember the guy who came in the kilt, the Highlander? So we're moving now into the 4th round. Presumably he gave that last round to Gerber.
Yeah, so far I've given only 1 round to Harris, and people will argue on that, but I gave the first round to Harris, and so far I haven't given anything else. He's got to realize that he's not in America where they're going to appreciate certain things in what he's doing, like pulling back or leaning back to counter with the right-hand shot. Is that going to be appreciated by the German judges? No, because they're going to be looking at what their man's doing. And look at that. And their man's is the one who's aggressing. Now, Gerber's the one that's going out and aggressing.
Harris has 25 wins, 15 defeats, and a couple of draws in his long career. And among the people who he's lost to, Britain's Henry Akinwande. Fought Chris Bird as well a few years back, Fraser Kendo. It's a long list of big-name fighters who he's been in the ring with. Not beaten too many of them, it has to be said.
You see, look, he's schooling him there, but it is like, all right, then, I'm just letting you know that I'm here. I'm going to throw my combinations in, and that's it. Yeah, I mean, he should be really trying to stamp his authority on this kid, because you got to think Gerber's just a little kid to him. And Gerber should be cutting off the ring. You see, he's just circling, and he's not cutting the guy off. He should be cutting him off. He should be cutting him off, stepping over to his right to try and throw that right hand. He's not doing it.
Certainly a look of permanence about Harris here tonight. Doesn't look as though he's going to be got out of there in any particular hurry.
No, there isn't.
Big crowd building up. You can see from that wide-angle shot there behind. Not too many spare seats, and it will be filled to capacity for the main events. Boxing, big news in Germany.
I mean, there's some beautiful shots in here. How Harris is putting the shots together. Good jabbing there. Good jabbing on Harris's behalf there.
Here from the corner of Harris, William Bo James, his trainer, shouting to his man, jab, jab.
You'd wonder in this fight what would happen if, like, Harris just threw a 1-2 left hook. I mean, just look where Gerber's hands are. He's so open for a left hook, and he's raising his hands now, but he's kind of walking around clumsily. Look, left hook, just caught him there.
He's a wee bit static from my way of looking at it, Gerber. It's a little bit boxing by numbers.
Yeah, most definitely. You get certain fighters that will think inside of the ring. There's certain guys who just follow instructions and say, well, I'm doing what you told me to do, so I must be doing okay. And it seems like Gerber's one of the guys who likes to, who follows instructions.
Well, that's the halfway stage of the fight.
I mean, Gerber just like
respectful touch of gloves between the two at the end.
I never like really seeing that, to tell you the truth.
No, neither me.
Ja, nicht zu wenig machen und nicht die Hände fallen lassen. Schön aufpassen, hast du gut gemacht, geblockt und geantwortet. Aber ruhig mal mit mehreren schnellen Händen. Du wirst schon wieder zu hart schlagen.
I know we're concentrating on Gerber here, the home director, of course, looking at the German fighter, but Harris's trainer, Bo James, he fought Bernard Hopkins back in the 90s, fought for the IBF title, was stopped in 11 rounds.
Man, that's incredible. I think the fight was in Miami, I think.
Is it?
Double check, I think.
I'll be impressed if that's a correct statistic. We'll see if we can get our behind-the-scenes boys on that one. I would doff my cap to your knowledge if that's right. How did you score the last round? That's what counts now.
Kind of difficult to score that. I would slightly favour Harris on that round.
So on your card, you'd have it level at this stage.
Yeah, I would.
Whether or not it will be scored that way, well, you know where we're watching this fighting from. And we're now into the 5th round.
Germany's a cool place to fight, man. Just ask Robin Reed.
The famous referee passed away earlier this year.
That's sad.
A man who didn't like Robin landing body shots.
Yeah, I know. Look, beautiful jab in there. Beautiful jabbing. I mean, Gerber's just lacking ambition. He's putting too much emphasis on trying to throw hard shots, but not regular shots. And that's the major thing. When you fight, it's about throwing regular shots, well-timed shots. There are none here. No head movement, and this is the thing that I'm slightly worried about. This Gerber, no head movement whatsoever.
Well, the thing is that you're looking at him as a prospect. This is a guy with an undefeated record, and he's saying, yeah, I want the European title, I want a world title. So you've got to judge him by the highest sort of levels and the highest sort of level of critique. And when you watch him in here against a guy who's been around the block, knows his way around the boxing ring, and he's been around for a long time, and Gerber's just looking a little bit limited, isn't he?
Oh, beautiful uppercut there, beautiful. Yeah, of course he's looking limited. And you know, I would say, like, if he continues doing this for another 2 rounds, he's going to be in trouble.
The behind-the-scenes boys have been on the case. Bo James fought Bernard Hopkins in Atlantic City in 1996. The Resorts Hotel and Casino.
Yes. Yeah, we're talking about Bernard Hopkins, a dear friend of mine. And a dear friend of Steve Bunt's downstairs. Bunsey
almost crossed swords with him on a couple of occasions.
He didn't almost cross, he crossed swords with him. You know what I mean? Seriously, he was so panicking he lost his hair.
I'll let you take that up with the big fella next time you see him.
No, I will, man. He's going to be up here in a minute. Don't worry about that. Me and Steve Bunts are cool. He's good people.
So last few seconds of the 5th round. And Edmund Gerber continues to plod after Harris, who just looks as though he's got more natural boxing skill than the undefeated German, but perhaps doesn't at this stage of his career
but that's
have
Harris
the devilment. And there's
who would you give that? Who would you score that round to?
Build up towards the big one in Las Vegas.